Hi,
Hello.
son. How are
How
you?
you doing?
Happy first day back.
There are probably 12 of us now in the HBCU ranks. That ebbs and flows over time. What we know is that the standard is incredibly high for women to do this well, to be successful on all fronts, and the consequences for us tend to be much sharper, much faster, and much higher. There is a fair amount of pressure associated with being the first female on a college campus, and this is my second time doing that, so I'm getting used to it now. I'm a mother of 3 of my own children. I view myself very much as a mother of now 2,203, the students on this campus. And so I do tend to be somewhat emotive. I do speak to them in terms of endearment. I hug my students. I establish relationships with them that are very maternal at times. We're living in a Me Too culture. I doubt that my gentlemen peers have the opportunity to hug their students without fear of any kind of reprisal or consequence. So there's an advantage to being a woman. They see me and I know them and they know me, and we're able to build a rapport and a relationship that I think hopefully encourages them to want to do well while they're here at Benedict College. I practiced law for a decade and rather enjoyed the practice. I think I was reasonably good at it. A good friend asked me to teach a class as an adjunct professor. I thought, I know nothing of teaching, but I agreed to do it. And what I found is that the students in the classroom were very much like the jury in a box. They were there, compulsory, they had to listen, and yet not so compulsory, right? The students chose to be there. They wanted to hear what you had to say. I didn't hesitate. I resigned the practice of law, went back to school to earn another doctorate. You may know that the Juris Doctorate, the law degree, is not considered an earned doctorate, as though those are given away for Christmas for people who are good, rather than 3 years and a seat in a bar exam. But went back to Vanderbilt to earn a doctorate so that I could be competitive in higher education, and I've never looked back and never regretted it at all. I chose to lead at an HBCU because I am myself the product of a historically black college. I attended West Virginia State College then, now University in West Virginia, and found that to be an amazingly transformative experience for me. Growing up in southern West Virginia, which is a 3% minority state, you would very often find yourself as the only person of color everywhere you went. And so arriving on that campus and seeing teachers and administration, the president, the first lady, my classmates, all of whom look like me, and the freedom that comes with being yourself. Many of our historically black colleges and universities have suffered from historic levels of underfunding, particularly those that are state-run. Our private HBCUs are like our private school peers around the country. Many of our students are low-wealth, first-generation students, for whom Pell and other sources of funding have not kept pace with increases over time. And so our students are less able to pay. Our infrastructure and technology and some of those things can be a bit dated if you have not been able to invest in them. People thought, she's insane. She's cutting tuition and capping enrollment. How will Benedict survive? Kids were getting into payment arrangements they couldn't possibly make. They had high balances that forced them to have to drop out. It was pointless. It was harming us on our financials with our bad debt reserves and our write-offs and those kinds of things. Why charge it if the customer, right, our students, can't pay it? Let's be realistic and clear about what our students can afford to pay. We'll collect it at 100% and make sure that we stabilize our cash flow and stabilize Benedict College, but not harm our kids. And that was our ultimate goal when we made the adjustment. I am a communicator. I'm a nurturer. As a mother, I tend to be in the details, so processes matter to me. How long are my students standing in line? Are grades being posted on time? Are they learning and loving, right? Are we teaching them and developing them at the same time? I think women are better with those kinds of things, and that just happens to be what Benedict needs today. I try not to wait for big things to happen because you miss a lot of little victories along the way. So the student that stopped me this morning on my way in, and she said, "Good morning, Dr. Artis," and I said, "Hi, happy first day of school." And she said, "I'm so glad to be back, I missed you." That's success for me.